Was that one of Colt's teeth? Maybe that was the problem. Because when they come back and they do the interview with Tony in the ring with Danielson, there was a tooth laying there, which he picked. It looked like a tooth with it was a fake tooth with a post in it. Which those I can tell you because I've got 2 or 3 of them. They come out easier than the regular teeth. So it was a tooth, all right, and he held it up. Danielson did in his hand, but I love he's being a heel by being a babyface, a smart-ass babyface that is getting a heel response. And he even mentioned, well, I thought I'd get a different response, but Chicago's fickle. And it's just, he's playing him like a fiddle. And he challenged another member of the Dork Order next week in Atlanta to lead up to the ultimate head kicking in that he mentioned, Adam Page. As soon as Page's name had come out of his mouth, they hit the music. And Brian, besides it being obviously set up because there's no way, I mean, it's almost too fast, even if you know it's coming to hit that for a human reaction, right? They could build the tension. Danielson has been saying a variety of things, but he has not addressed Adam Page yet. Instead of playing the music as soon as he says Adam Page's name, why don't he end this Adam Page? He's no good, this and that and the other thing, and blah, blah, blah. And I hate him, and his dog's ugly, and his wife is fucking constantly texting me, or what, just 3 or 4 remarks on Page. So the people now have got, he's running Page down, he's running Page down. And then you hit the Page music, and it gets an even bigger pop. Because, oh, he's going to come out and stop this. They can't pop for, oh, he's going to come out and stop this when they've just heard that he just started it seconds before. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
It builds a little tension. But anyway, Page comes out, finally offers to defend right here and right now. And Danielson declines since he's already wrestled. And, of course, that offer was not cowboy shit, but coward shit. Ooh. And Page won't leave without a fight and offers Danielson the first shot. And that's where Danielson, I'm not going to do this. And then he slaps him. And then here they have the hockey fight. And real quick, he chucks Page to the apron, but Page goes for the buckshot lariat, and Danielson bails out the other side. Great stuff. Now I want to see what happens when they get a hold of each other. Because they didn't give it all to me. They didn't go out in the building and fight for 10 minutes in the women's room, where I don't ever want to see anymore. Now I want to see what's going to happen when they get together. It's a wrestling show. And we're an hour and a half into this thing, and it's still a fucking wrestling show. I was amazed, Brian. Sing the praises of Danielson.
I think Danielson's doing some of the best work of his whole career. I've not enjoyed him this much since that run he had where they finally gave him the main event at WrestleMania, which wasn't going to happen, and then Punk quit. You know, of course, I mean, there's a whole number of things that make it an interesting scenario. Or I shouldn't say Punk quit. Punk left, and then they released him on his wedding day. That's exactly what happened. But Danielson is doing incredible work. He's clearly having the time of his life. I think these are some of the best promos he's ever done in his life. He's obviously not being handed a script anymore, and he could do it. And he comes across believable as that, I don't know what you call it, kind of like a Billy Robinson. Like, yeah, he could be nice, but he's going to kick your ass. He's going to stretch you 100 different ways, and that he's threatening them. I'm going to kick your face in. I'm going to do this and that. Again, there's a lot of crappy Dark Order members. So we can draw this out until he gets to Page. I love this. I mean, AEW right now, the things that are hitting as well as they could. And Danielson, since the heel turn to me, has been phenomenal.
Well, you know, part of the thing with the promos is just these guys are not only wrestlers, but they're wrestling fans, and they talk to and are out amongst the fans. And so they know what to say that will register with these people, whereas the comedy writers in the other company, they don't ever talk to the fans, and they're mad at the fans because the fans always say, this fucking writing sucks, because it does. So they have not only no interaction with real wrestling fans, but also no impetus to write stuff for guys that fans would want to hear because they don't even know what it is. So like I said, AEW gets to run away with these type of segments because they come off as what fans want to hear, as what they believe that these guys would really say, not orchestrated, written down bullshit. And, again, Danielson, you mentioned Billy Robinson, the I'll kick your ass in a heartbeat and I'll break your fingers and all that stuff. That's true. But Robinson could be a bit dour. He was not a smiling, fun-loving babyface. And whereas the reason I like Danielson's is because he's saying it with that impish grin, and he's such a little smartass, but without even really saying smartass things. It's just what he's saying in the particular way and to who he's saying it to or about.
The tone of his voice, and also the smile is slightly changed. There was a point during the thing last week with him and Page, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, I forget what it was, where at one point he said something and he kind of laughed at his own joke, and it was a heel laugh and smile. It was a completely different thing. But I'm enjoying this, and I look forward to seeing where this is going to go. More of this. This is great.
I'm just thinking, Brian, that with the roster that AEW is assembling now, they ought to have like a wall of fame in their entranceway.
Wall of Fame?
A wall of fame with pictures of all these greats. They've got CM Punk. They've got Bryan Danielson. They've got Hangman Adam Page. They've got FTR. They've got all kinds of talent. They should have a wall of fame with pictures of these people framed in the entranceway so that all the entering wrestlers could walk by this pantheon of immortals. What do you think? Is that an idea?
I think it's an interesting idea. Of course, you're talking to the first person to get in trouble for defacing the Wall of Fame at Long Beach High School years ago. I think it's a great idea.
Well, in all fairness to you, it wasn't the best picture of you they put up. But I still don't think that just because your picture was hanging on that wall, they should have gotten you for defacing it.
They installed a Wall of Fame all of a sudden at my high school, featuring some really famous people, because we had a lot of famous people go to my high school. Billy Crystal, Rick Rubin, and then local political idiots. So when they launched a Wall of Fame, I went in the library and took a Sharpie and wrote on a couple pieces of paper that I taped together the word politics, and I glued it to the thing so it said the Wall of Politics. And they immediately called me to the dean's office, and I explained to the deans, because I had good relationship with them, exactly what I did, why I did it, why I thought it was funny. And they said they couldn't let anyone know that they agreed with me, but if I just hung out in the office for a little bit so people thought I was being reprimanded, then I can go and no problems. And that's what happened.
You know what they should have done? You know what you should have done?
What's that?
See, if you had just had a skylight frame up on that wall, then you could have put anything you wanted in that frame, but when some authority figure tried to come around and take a peek, you could just, boom, change it to something else. And that way they would see the inoffensive picture until they walked by, and then boom, another picture would pop up that may be a little bit more edgy, so to speak.
Interesting theory there. Maybe someone who didn't go, yeah.
That's right. Maybe a picture of Pockets, for heaven's sake, someone who didn't go to any school. But nevertheless, with a skylight frame, you can change these things in the twinkling of an eye with just the tap of the screen. The skylight frames not only show one picture, they show multiple pictures. And we've mentioned it, folks. The skylight frame is a photo frame that you can update instantly by email from anywhere. It sets up effortlessly in under 60 seconds. You plug it in, use the touch screen, connect to the Wi-Fi if you don't have Spectrum, and enjoy. You can send photos to the skylight frame from everybody in the family. Can send pictures to one person's skylight frame. So you got a picture of Aunt Betty and Uncle Gladys and Cousin Junior and whoever else. They're all popping up. They pop up in seconds. Multiple people sending pictures to this same frame. It's phantasmagorical. It's got a black frame and a white mat. So it looks like a real photo frame. It is a real photo frame because it's framing photos. The gorgeous 10-inch touchscreen that you can swipe through pictures with your finger. You can even tap it and thank the person who sent you one of the pictures. So if somebody sends you a picture, you can tap them. And it's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If you don't love your Skylight frame, they will offer you a full refund. You're a real prick if you take it, but they'll offer it to you. And you can load it up beforehand. Preload is what they call it, with your favorite pictures if you want to give it a personalized gift. So you can have pictures of you and your whole family or you and your close social circle, and you give it to somebody that's involved. They love it. It's the holidays. If you give one of these for Christmas or Hanukkah or New Year's, birthday, whatever holiday is coming up, Kwanzaa, it doesn't matter. It's better than TV. They can just sit there, especially old people can just sit there and watch the photos pass by. So Vince would remember, well, there was Billy Gilzenberg, and there was, oh, shit, it's Toots Mondt. I see him coming now. Folks, the reviews on Facebook are quite complimentary to the Skylight frames. And now, as a special offer, you can get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com. That's SKYLIGHT, skylightframe.com, and enter the code DRIVE. $10 off your purchase of a Skylight frame at skylightframe.com. Enter the code DRIVE, and you'll have this, Dad, sitting on the shelf or hanging on the wall or wherever you put it, and these pictures will fly by, and you'll realize, well, I don't know who half these assholes are, but you'll love it.
Oh, that's right. Skylight frame. Well, Jim,
you know what? You should do that as a rib.
What?
Send your grandmother who's maybe losing a step. Send her the picture of Skylight, of the Skylight frame, and then send her pictures of people that she doesn't know. And say, hey, Grandma,
why would someone do that?
Because then, hey, Grandma, did you get pictures of Aunt Fanny and Uncle Felcher and all these other people she don't know? And she'll go, yes, I don't remember them. You don't? Well, hell, they've been in the family for 30 years, Grandma. What's the matter with you? You could fuck her mind up like that.
I heard they did that with Vince. They sent pictures of the active roster. He had no idea who anyone was.
Except for Shelton.
Ah, Shelton. Great egg.
Well, that was egg sighting.